I know I'm lying. What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, back once again. And you already know that one thing is for sure, one thing is for certain, and three things are for sure when you see me in front of your TV. Number one is that the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two is that we came to give you stats and not none of that static. And number three, we want to make sure that you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And that is probably the most important of the three. And you may be asking yourself, well, how do I keep my Lions news pragmatic, Don P? It's very, very simple. You smash that like button, you share, and you subscribe. And you let everybody know what is going on around here in this illustrious fan cave that we got behind us. We got pads. We got pads in different areas with Brad. Different areas with Brad. Pads in different areas with Brad. In different areas with Brad. We got pads. That's what we're talking about today. We got pads. We got pads. Them Lions boys are back in the pads. I said we back in the pads. We hitting at camp. I said we hitting that camp. I said we hitting that camp. That's right, baby. Football is back. It ain't no pajamas. No more of that. No more running around in your PJs and your VJs and your ReJs and your ZJs, whatever the J's that you got. Your 13s, maybe your 1s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your 11s. You know, maybe your Space Jams. No more your J's. You got the cleats on. You got your helmet on. You got your shoulder pads on. You got your thigh pads in. You got your knee pads in. Well, for whatever reason, I don't know what. I listen. For as many knee injuries as you have, as many contusions as you can get, wear your knee pads. Brother, wear your knee pads. Put them on. Wear them. What up, though? Just a fan. But we got pads on, and we got to talk about what is going on in these pads. We got some people getting blown up out there. Oddly enough, well, it's really not that odd. It's really not that odd that people were not getting in scuffles and skirmishes the way that they were when they weren't in pads, because you can hit people now. I don't have to get all blustery in the chest, you know, and be all upset. No, you can hit people, right? And while people don't like to get hit hard, you expect to get hit. It ain't, oh, you being dirty, I'm coming across the middle and I ain't got no pads on. Nah, I got pads on, I went across that middle, and whatever happened. I can expect it to happen. What up, though, Zach J? You are on time today. You are on time today. You did not get lost in the sauce today. So a couple of things happened while I was away. Let's get into talking about those things. You know, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to my last show on, what was it, Wednesday? You know what I'm saying? I just got stuck out there. So couldn't make it back. But the things that have happened while I was gone. Let me pop this chat out. So I can see y'all. Y'all can see me. I mean, y'all can see me anyway. Got my drink today. You know what I'm saying? Got my drink. All right. So a couple things happened. Number one, Christian Wilkins was released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Remember when I was talking about, and you know, and those of you who are my day ones and those of you who are my everydayers, shout out to my everydayers. You heard me talking about surprise cuts. Surprise cuts, man, that guy got cut and it was a surprise. Christian Wilkins getting cut is a surprise. Because he just played with the Raiders for a year. He signed a big contract with them and played for only 1 year. They voided his contract. Why did they void his contract? They voided it because he suffered a foot injury in week 5, so October. Excuse me. Woo. Time for the drink. Okay. He suffered a foot injury in week 5, and he missed the remainder of the season. Apparently what had happened was the Raiders did not like the way that he approached the rehab of that foot injury. How did he approach the rehab of the foot injury? Well, he didn't get surgery. The Raiders wanted him to get surgery. They got this opinion, that opinion, third, second, fourth, fifth opinion from doctors. Doctor said, get surgery. Christian Wilkins said, no, I don't want to get the surgery. So he was cut by the Raiders, voided contract. He's free to sign with another team. He's now currently a free agent immediately, effective immediately. Does not have to wait, doesn't have to sit out, doesn't have to do any of those things. Okay, cool. Will the Lions sign him? Probably not. Should the Lions sign him? Well, he's injured. So you already know what that means. Brad is probably on the phone right now. But someone else that we do know who Brad Holmes has been, well, maybe not on the phone with, I'm not sure what the context is of the dialogue. But one Matthew Judon apparently was in Allen Park yesterday, working out for the Lions. There has been dialogue about signing Matthew Judon. I feel like Brad has personal feelings against Big Z. At this point, it's ridiculous. Big Z wants to be here. Big Z, you know, he got roots in the community. His girl is from here. She's a prominent celebrity, you know, Detroit very own Cash Doll. They've been around town together all off season. They went to freaking Ghana. Okay, together. What did I say before? When you go to Ghana with a woman, it's serious. Okay. They did all that. He has publicly come out at the BET Awards and said, I want to be in Detroit. And then the next thing you know, Brad Holmes does an interview on the Greenlight podcast with Chris Long. And Chris Long, you know, offers him up a little alley-oop. And he completely misses the pass on purpose. It was a Malik Beasley situation. Missed the pass on purpose. I thought, hey, it's just Brad being a professional. You know, he's not under contract. You don't want to be talking about the dude and your willingness to sign him because you don't want his agent to be able to pick up on that and be like, oh, yeah, you really want my client? Well, let me stick it to you. So Brad Holmes navigating, okay, we in negotiations or whatever. Now it is what it is. How does it go from the ball is in his agent's court to we are having discussions about Matthew Judon? What up, though, Detroit fan man? I don't understand that one. So I believe that Brad Holmes has something personal against Big C. I can't confirm it. Okay? It's just a feeling that I have. Brad Holmes doesn't like Big Z. This is personal now. Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon. Grand Valley's own Matthew Judon, yes. Is someone that we wanted before, yes. But what is where, when, why, and how did Matthew Judon get involved in this mix? If you are bringing somebody else in, where is Big Z in all of this? I don't understand. You have to make it make sense to me, because it doesn't. Let me see what. Fair to say he didn't approach it. Nah, I was busy talking, so I don't know exactly what you meant. Detroit fan, man. If he was injured, Brad wants him. Yes, Christian Wilkins. Brad Holmes is Dr. Frankenstein. He thinks he can fix any player on his GM operation table. All we need for Big Z to do is go out and have a hangnail, and then he'll get signed. I'm pretty sure. So Big Z, go out and do something, get a hangnail, because we don't want you to get nothing too serious, right? Just get you a hangnail. Come in the facility with your hand wrapped up. What happened there? Oh, I was, I banged it in the car door. I'm talking about just, Oh, good. Glad you came in. We got your contract ready, Big Z. And then after you sign the contract, take the wrap off. Fake an injury. Do something. Because we know, what Brad wants. You know it. I ain't got to say it. I have a feeling Z might be pulling a Sue and trying to skip training camp. LOL. I don't mind Z skipping training camp. That's what I've said for all this time. That he is probably going to be brought in, if he's brought in, like at the end of training camp, because he's a vet and he doesn't need to do training camp. But this Matthew Judon thing is now, it's weird. Now, are you going to sign Matthew Judon and Big Z? I don't think you would. Would I mind it? Not at all. That's not something I would mind at all. But are you going to do it? I don't think it's realistic. Matthew's body is built by Taco Bell. Judon for the uninitiated. What up, though? Here's Johnny. You talked about how Wilkins approached his recovery. Fair to say he didn't approach. Oh. Yeah. But so if he's injured, Brad just might sign him. Like, we'll get you in for the vet minimum. You can play this year. They voided his contract, but I'm sure they still owe him some money. I don't think they can completely walk away with it. Here's Johnny. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Got it covered. Lighter in the pockets, though. Big Z should tell Brad Holmes, my heart is broken and only you can fix it. Hey, that might work, Just a Fan. That might work. Speaking of all this edge rusher talk, I'm sure you guys heard the sound with Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson basically said he's willing it to happen. There's no other way. He and Marcus Davenport must be together this season. He said he's willing it. He's manifesting it. They're talking about pass rush duo names. Translation: if this man doesn't play the entire season, we are cooked. We are screwed. That's what he said. He said there's no other way. There's no other path. Because he knows we don't have anybody else on this team. Which is why we're talking to Matthew Judon. And not Big Z for some reason. I don't know. Maybe, okay, I'll tell you what I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what Matthew Judon is. Matthew Judon is a pawn in a game of 3D chess that is being played between Brad Holmes and Big Z's agent. Brad Holmes has put that pawn out there and said, your move. Oh, we don't need you, King. No, we don't need you at all. We'll take you, but we don't need you. Huh? Your move. What are you going to do? So now Big Z agent has figured out. That's what I think it is. Just don't look at Davenport. Right. So I saw Derek's video, shout out Lion Syndicate, and he was dissecting that little press conference with Marcus Davenport. He was really upset about it. I'm not particularly upset about it, and I'll tell you why. There's two reasons that I'm not upset about it. Marcus Davenport's weird. You know what I mean? Like, he's always been strange. When he talks to the media, he's always very like unsure, like really picking his words, and you know, like he was like, what is all this laughing? I don't like all this laughing. And you know, it's the media training didn't take. I'll say that. The other thing about Marcus Davenport is it's either going to be it's going to be an I told you so season. Okay. Marcus Davenport can be healthy and help this team win for the entire season and the postseason. And it's going to be an I told you so season for Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport can get injured before a significant chunk of the season is played and miss the remainder of it. And it's going to be an I told you so season from me and from Derek and other Lions content creators. From fans, from media, I told you so. So that's why I wasn't too upset about it. It is what it is. He's weird at the podium, and it's an I told you so season. It's either going to work out it's not going to work out for anyone if myself and Derek and a lot of the fans who don't have any evidence, right? Who don't have any evidence to say that Marcus Davenport is going to remain healthy for an entire season. That doesn't help anyone. So that's not the I told you so season that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the I told you so season on Marcus Davenport's side, on the coach's side, on Brad Holmes' side. I'd love for Brad Holmes to be right about this particular injured player. 100%. That's my thing. Can Brad Holmes be right about this particular injured player? That's the type of I told you season I would like to have. If you want me to come on here and crack an egg and put it on my face, fine. You know what I mean? If you want me to crack the egg in front of you and put it on my face and say, I got egg on my face because of all that stuff I talked about Marcus Davenport, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Davenport. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your son cry. I apologize 1,000,000,000 times. Like, I'd love to sing that song. You know, while we're hosting like replica Lombardis, I'd love to. Am I going to? I don't know. Comeback player of the year odds are plus 40,000. See, I'm not a gambler. Is that good or bad? Are those good odds or are they bad odds? Nah, he would not make for a good guard dog. Davenport equals big man with a tiny voice. Let me see here. So, you know, when players name their universities during early game intros, Judon instead said he attended Body Built by Taco Bell. I caught that live and never forgot about it for some reason. Sounds like karate, willing through the brick mindset. Z is just waiting for Davenport to get hurt to sign. Won't be too much longer. Wow. Probably another week. Wow. See, that's what I meant. Okay, that happened. You know, Anzalone's still dealing with a hamstring injury. It's silly. It's silly to be out here talking about you got a hamstring injury when everybody knows that you did not attend any of the all-season program. Okay? And everybody knows that you want a new contract. You came here, you said you're not going to hold out, you're not going to miss any games. That's cool. The hamstring injury thing is dumb. You don't have a hamstring injury. But, you know, it is what it is. Ooh, honey boo boo, back in business, better than ever. Ooh, K is here. K is back in action. Ooh. All right. So let's talk about some more of this stuff that has gone on in camp. The injuries that we had yesterday are no longer there today. Derek Barnes was out there at practice. It was just a finger situation. Terrion Arnold was out there at practice. He had a calf strain. Now, you know Kevin Durant, Tyrese Halliburton. When a person has a calf strain, it can lead to catastrophic injury. Thankfully, it doesn't always lead to catastrophic injury. Thankfully, Terrion Arnold really didn't miss any time. He just was taken off early yesterday and came back. Vaki, I'm sure is still not back. Roy Lopez not back. Broderick Martin apparently, I don't know if he's back or whatever, but apparently he just looks underwhelming. Got a lot of other guys taking snaps ahead of him. I don't know what the plan is for Broderick Martin. I don't know if he's just supposed to be developing and it's supposed to take him 5-6 years to see the field. I don't know. So it's not me. I don't know. As I want the ham, so his agent is pulling the strings. But boom. What else? We got J-Mo cooked Terrion Arnold on the first route, which is to be expected. And then on the second route, I guess J-Mo was feeling himself a little bit too much, so he tried to run Terrion over. That didn't work out too well. So, yeah, there's that. Okay. I feel like I'm almost done with my app. Who knows? I mean, I feel that way. I can't guarantee that it is, but it feels like it's almost done. I'm adding the YouTube credentials so that I can upload videos to YouTube. So we'll see how that works out. Wide receiver Traquan Smith visits Titans. Okay. Campbell thinks it would be great for the UFL to become an official NFL farm system. You're damn right it would. Since we don't have one. Okay. Here we go. We were just talking about Alex Anzalone. After this, we'll look at some day 5 training camp observations. All right, so Dan Campbell offers hopeful new update regarding future status of Alex Anzalone. This is from Sideline Report. Max Damara says, in addition to riding out some light injuries, the Detroit Lions are dealing with the extended absence of Alex Anzalone during training camp as he campaigns for a new contract. Anzalone plays a key role for the defense as a captain and leader on the back end, so this extended absence would not be a good thing for the Lions if it bleeds into the regular season. Signs this week pointed to the potential for that to happen the longer Anzalone stayed sidelined. Okay, now, remember, Anzalone has said himself he's not going to miss games. Oh, I forgot. Y'all can't. Okay. Got the pop filter on there. Thankfully, though, Dan Campbell has offered his take on the matter, and it should help quell many suspicions about Anzalone's long-term absence from the franchise. As the coach said, having Anzalone in the mix is still the plan for the Lions because he is needed. Put this chat back up here. All right. So it says, you guys... Okay, I didn't ignore anything. You didn't say nothing. You guys know how I feel about Alex, how we feel about Alex. He's one of our dudes, man. He's one of our dudes, man. We've leaned on him. He is a productive player. We're good. Still talking. There's no animosity here. There's nothing like that. I'm not going to go into anything else outside of that. But we're going to be good. We're going to be good. And yes, we're going to need him. There's still no timetable for Anzalone's return, but at the very least, this is a positive update for the Lions. The linebacker has been around the team this week and also spoke to the media. There wasn't much negativity on behalf of either party playing out in front of the cameras, which can be rare during difficult negotiations. All right. Alex Anzalone still wants to remain with the Lions well into the future. This week, Anzalone also broke his own silence related to his absence. While he is angling for a new contract, Anzalone has also been dealing with a hamstring injury. Cap. Don't be a capologist. This is Cap. All right. Which has sidelined him from competing in camp. That hasn't changed his outlook about his future with the franchise. Speaking with reporters as shared by Hobby Artigue? I don't know. Hobby Artigue of Local 4 News, Anzalone admitted that he wants to be with the team and even retire as a member of the Lions, given all the work he has put in with teammates. I want to retire a Lion. I put so much into my time here, being a four-time captain and a teammate. The city, just living here. You can list all the reasons. It's just important to me. I love this place and I want that opportunity. Technically, the Lions don't have to act now with Anzalone. He is still under contract through 2025, and Detroit could let the situation play out before handing money to a player that doesn't need a new contract immediately. Anzalone might hold out to make the point, but there is no guarantee that he will do that. He said he wasn't going to. Based on what Campbell had to say, the Lions could now get Anzalone back when he is healthy before September. That would be a fantastic development for Detroit's defense, who needs a veteran this season, regardless of what his long-term future might hold. Yeah, once he's healthy before September. Brother, it is still July. Anzo played good when healthy, but how much does he want? We don't know. Hasn't been leaked yet. Chip Bradshaw, what up though? Alex sees the writing on the wall. He is pushing for an extension because if he doesn't get it, he's out next year. He's smart for having the foresight. Not sure Brad sees it that way. Dollars and cents. Bears fans are waiting for. Why do you talk to Bears fans? I don't know. I don't understand it. Like do you have Bears fans as friends and family? Are you like a half Chicago, a half Detroit native? That I got like, so two of my brothers and sisters are from Detroit, and my oldest brother was born in Chicago. So I understand how it could happen. But of course, Bears fans are waiting for something bad to happen with the Lions. Just like the Lions want bad things to happen for the Bears. That's the way it works. He's going to have to take a good home team discount to stay, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know how much he's going to take or not take. Translated to English, I want more money for more years. Facts. Kay says nobody likes living here. They just be lying. Hey, man. You know, it is what it is. All right, let's get to the observations section. Detroit Lions training camp observations. Day 5. Aiden Hutchinson shines as pads come on. All right. This is from POD, Eric Schlitt. I don't have a problem with Eric. You know, there's some though. The Detroit Lions welcome in their friends and family to Allen Park on Friday as the team suited up in pads for day 5 of training camp. Participation report: after leaving practice early on Thursday, both Terrion Arnold, Calf, and Derek Barnes, I almost called him Deriak. Terrion Arnold and Deriak Barnes Finger were back on the practice field on Friday and looked no worse for wear. While no players left practice early with apparent injuries, they were without rookies Tyleik Williams and Ian Kennelly. Aiden Hutchinson looks fully back. Heading into training camp, one of the big questions reportedly asked was, will Aiden Hutchinson return to form after breaking his leg last season? After 5 days of practice, including Friday's padded practice, he certainly looks all the way back. And if you ask defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard, he may be even better than last year. Listen, I'm not saying anything about numbers, statistics, any of that, but I see a better player than we had last year. Shepard told the media on Thursday. Before the pads went on, Hutchinson was able to showcase his elite burst and timing, and he looked very comfortable. He looked very comfortable trusting his leg. When pads went on, he was able to dial things up even further and showed very well in both individual and team drills on Friday. Every training camp, the first rep of one-on-one OL versus DL is always Hutchinson against Penei Sewell in a matchup of arguably the best two players on the field. It's a battle worth the trip to Allen Park. Hutchinson cleanly won the rep. A rare concurrence in this battle of elites. I think Penei might have been taking it easy because you know what I'm saying? It's a theory. I don't know if it's working or not, but it's a theory. All right. Let me get this chat back up before I get accused of ignoring people again. All right. You get tired of arguing with those damn Bears fans, so stop. I don't argue with Bears fans. I don't. The two guys who run my golf league are from Chicago. They also run two churches. They answer no questions and take no suggestions. Sus. Bears fans think they're going to be 17-0. They don't. I promise you they don't. All right. Hutchinson also looked strong in team drills, setting firm edges against the run and even getting a sack on third down to help the defense end the drive during 11-on-11s. I'm at a point now in my career where it's like you're shooting for the stars every year, Hutchinson told the media after practice. And if that's not the expectation or standard you put to yourself, this thing is in my way. Okay. You put to yourself, it's got to be that way. I think from here on out, those first couple of years, you're getting in the league and figuring it out. But now it's every year. The standard, it is what it is. The standard is the standard. We do not care. Glasgow stays at center after flipping Graham Glasgow back to center and rookie Tate Ratledge to right guard on Thursday. The Lions kept things the same on Friday, sending out this starting unit. Left tackle, Dan Skipper. Left guard, Christian Watkins. Center, Graham Glasgow. Right guard, Tate Ratledge. And right tackle, Penei Sewell. Huh. That's interesting. When you get the day off Wednesday, you have the ability... When you get the day off Wednesday, you have the ability to kind of sit back, look at it all, think about it, and then it's like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw Graham back in there at center and get Tate some of these guard reps. Coach Dan Campbell told the media Friday. We're still going to work him at center, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's see. I lost it. Let's go ahead and do this and see what this looks like for a little bit. We go into pads today, and so, like I said, we're just seeing what we can find. What's the best combination? Who's going to play best where? I told you, Dad Campbell's comments are like quotes are very hard to read. For Ratledge, the responsibilities are at guard present a new set of challenges, several of which we saw on Friday. For example, we saw the Lions blitz Brian Branch out of the slot, which forced Sewell to adjust to that pressure, leaving Ratledge to... Let's see. To leverage back into the quarterback. Okay. Leaving Ratledge to deal with Marcus Davenport from a unique angle. Davenport used power and angle to leverage Ratledge back into the quarterback. Another guard that requires Ratledge to pull on outside runs and screens, something he hasn't had to do. While at center, his movement skills are a plus for him, but having to get out and try and block branch in space is a daunting assignment. There's a lot of Ratledge's play. There's a lot on Ratledge's plays right now, but he seems to be handling the pressure well and should improve with more experience. As for the reserves, we saw the Lions continue that 3 center position with the second and third teams on Friday. Left tackle Giovanni Manu, left guard Netane Muti / Kingsley Aguakun, center Michael Neese / Tristan Cole, right guard Kedi Awasika / Colby Sorsdahl, and right tackle Jamarco Jones / Mason Miller. One-on-ones, one of the best aspects of wearing pads is tracking how players perform in one-on-one. Tracking how players perform in one-on-one drills. There's a lot to process in this section, so we'll bullet point the highlights to keep things moving. Offensive line versus defensive line. As previously mentioned, Hutchinson cleanly beat Penei Sewell and Dan Skipper. Christian Mahogany showed tremendous anchor versus Chris Smith. Graham Glasgow, best DJ Reader on their first map. Tate Ratledge fought to a draw with Pat O'Connor, but handled Keith Cooper easily. Giovanni held his ground against a much quicker Isaac Uku, locking him up and applying a firm anchor. Who went against Mitchell Agood? I just want to know. Offensive skill players versus back 7 defenders. Jameson Williams opened the event by squaring up against Terrion Arnold. The receivers showed surprising power and got the win. In their next matchup, Arnold didn't hesitate and attack, blowing up Williams before he could ramp up, with the hit resulting in Williams losing his helmet. Similarly, David Montgomery made a slick move to beat Jack Campbell in their first matchup, but Campbell's aggression resulted in a huge tackle for loss that drew an incredible reaction from the defense. Dominic Lovett tried to catch Amik Robertson off guard by hurdling him, but the savvy vet wasn't fooled and caught the rookie in the air and discarded him with violence. Maurice Norris used a similar level of aggression that we saw from Arnold, but rookie... But rookie Isaac Tesla used his strength and length to keep the defender at bay while staying on his feet for the win. Sam Laporta has been a problem in team drills, which also continued today, but he also got very clean wins in one-on-ones versus Amon-Ra versus Avonte Maddox and Brian Branch, which is incredibly hard to do. Woof. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? It's nice to have Hutch do one-on-ones, but he is not going to see one-on-one in real games. Well, if you got Marcus Davenport over there and you got Hutch over there, we got too many guys for them to block. All right. This was purely a pass rush versus protection set of drills, which heavily favors the defense. However, Craig Reynolds won both of his reps, absorbing big contact from Anthony Pittman on one rep. Trevor Nowatzki showed a really nice swim move past Brock Wright, flashing some pass rushing chops that have earned him in the backup Sam role for most of camp. But when lined up opposite Laporta, the Pro Bowl tight end handled him well. Unsurprisingly, Grant Stewart stood out with the pop of his pads. He had a very successful bull rush against Kenny Yeboah. Yeah, boy. But that easily drove him into the quarterback. I hope Kenny Yeboah makes the team just so I can say his name all year like that. Yeah, boy. Campbell and Montgomery were back at it again here, and the third-year linebacker won both of his reps, which is no easy task. Montgomery is one of the best pass protectors on the team, but Campbell won with both force and sound technique. Don't sleep on Campbell as potential blitzing piece of this defense. As a potential blitzing piece. That would not surprise me because Coach Shep is now the DC. And I told y'all before, my opinion is that there's going to be a whole lot more linebacker-centric scheme and calls and things of that nature implemented by Coach Shep. That is going to be one of his wrinkles. Special teams, Rock Ya-Sin showed off his veteran experience during drills as one of the only gunners to successfully beat the double team for a tackle, quote unquote, on the play. Ya-Sin stepped around the outside blocker, but instead of heading upfield like most others did, he sharply cut back in, forcing the second blocker to lose his angle and eventually the rep. Norris also demonstrated his experience by patiently waiting on it. I'm sorry. By patiently waiting for Tesla to beat his initial block. Then, instead of attacking, he maintained his angle and forced the rookie to make the next move. Norris easily countered and ran Tesla out of the play. Lovett got some revenge on Robertson during this drill as he stepped inside and forced the aggressive corner to bail or to bite. Then the rookie used his speed to fly by and have an open lane to the ball carrier. Lovett is a very natural runner, and I believe if he makes the team, he could earn a starting role there. Fellow rookie wide receiver Jackson Meeks is also a legitimate option at gunner. He easily beat his blocks with power and often found himself in ideal position to attack. He has, let's see. He easily beat his blocks with power and often found himself in ideal positions to attack the ball carrier. His power showed up with the pads on. Veteran receiver Malik Taylor had one of the best special teams reps of the day as both he and Stanley Thomas Oliver got locked up at full speed. Taylor used his strength to gain leverage on the linebacker, on the blocker, and lifted him off the ground and out of the way as he cut back to the ball carrier. Unloading the notebook, Zach Cunningham looks ready to start at will if Alex Anzalone misses any time. Cunningham continues to rep with the starters and is making loads of plays, especially against the run. It's been a while, but it's worth remembering that Cunningham led the NFL with 164 tackles in 2020. He remains a strong tackler. Craig Reynolds' grip on the running back 3 job is steadily increasing. Reynolds found big gains on a toss sweep and screen pass during 11-on-11s, showing that he can be productive in and out of pads. In the final 11-on-11 drill of the day, we saw terrific plays from we saw terrific plays from Tesla converting a third down on a tough sideline catch. Lovett leaking out to the left with Yak and Jacoby Keeney James securing a crossing route and flying up the field. With Meeks showing out on special teams, this rookie wide receiver class has performed very well very early in camp. Speaking of rookies, tight end H-back Zach Horton showed that he also has traditional fullback range, laying some solid blocks on a few running plays. All right, we almost done. Kingsley Aguakun got beaten on a spin move by Miles Adams during one-on-ones, but redeemed himself during team drills when he pancaked a blitzing Anthony Pittman. With Tyleik Williams not in attendance, it was Chris Smith and Pat O'Connor stepping into the starting three-technique role. Smith also explained let me see here. Smith also expanded on his roles from 3-tech to include 4-eye, joining O'Connor and UDFA rookie Keith Cooper as the only defensive lineman that we've seen to take reps in that role. Throughout camp, Eric Hallett has shown impressive positional range, playing all 5 defensive back positions. On Friday, he secured a beautiful tackle for loss on a running back flare route during team drills. He is playing himself into the mix for a defensive back depth role. Let's see. Well, one of the reasons we like Hallett is because he can play multiple roles. Campbell said Friday morning he's a little bit in that niche of Pat O'Connor, who can do so many different jobs. Let's see. Well, one of the reasons we like Hallett is because he can play multiple roles, Campbell said Friday morning. He's a little bit in that niche of Pat O'Connor, who can do so many different jobs. Hallett can play the nickel. We can put him outside, play some corner. He's playing safety, certainly moving him around on special teams. There's just a lot of jobs he can do, and there's always going to be value in that. Made it. Appreciate you. Here's Johnny. What up, though, Tactical Sport? I know lots of people loved AG. However, I believe Shep will be better as a defensive coordinator. He just may be. You know, Shep is younger. He played in the league more recently. You know, some of his philosophies may be different than AG. I feel like it is it's possible, you know. It could just be a fresh new perspective. I mean, we dealt with AG for 4 years. And obviously when you looked at AG doing what you would call poorly, he did a phenomenal job once he got this iteration of the team. Once he got the players that could play and he could actually shape and mold, then you started to see the differences. The same thing is going to be happening with people like Keith Cooper and you know, Tyleik Williams and, you know, all these other rookies that are going to be okay. Someone was saying that Tyleik is in another. No, Tyleik is a rookie. Okay. So he's going to be in the same situation as everybody else. He's not going to get special treatment or anything of that nature, special attention, nothing. All right, Justin, we shall see you later. But yeah, I think, you know, Shep, you know, will have some different, I don't want to say philosophies, because I think philosophically, the scheme is still pretty much the same. There's going to be little things here and there. And this is a good segue into multiple players, even Jared Goff, saying, guys, with this coordinator thing, you are overblowing it. You are too focused on it. You're hyper focused on this coordinator thing. we're good, right? The verbiage that we're talking about is different. It's not so much different, okay? Because remember, Dan Campbell is the one that runs this offense, okay? Ben Johnson came and he offered, sorry, I slipped up. Osama bin Johnson came and he offered up new perspectives, different ways to call plays, so on and so forth. I don't think that in the time that he was there until now, I don't think he, what would you call it? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, it's again, it's not that big of a deal apparently, and when your quarterback tells you it's not that big of a deal, then it's not. Everyone loves Johnny Mo. Everyone has good things to say about him. I think he's much more personable than Osama bin Johnson. And look, we've got a ways to go. This is the first week of training camp. It is in the books. We'll see what happens in this Hall of Fame game. We'll see who we get back from injury. Taylor Decker's supposed to be coming back in September, so very shortly after the playoffs, and so on and so forth. Shortly after the preseason, not the playoffs. Okay, we don't want anybody coming back after the playoffs. All right. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Mailbag. Schnick, mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. So Johnny says the Lions got upgrades for OC and DC, in my humble opinion. We'll see how it plays out. I just don't think it's going to be as much of an issue as like the national media thinks it's going to be. They think it's just going to be a catastrophic cluster fudge of a situation. Mailbag Tactical Sports says Alex Anzalone is as good as gone, right? Well, not according to Dan Campbell and Alex Anzalone, who wants to retire as a Detroit Lion. But, I mean, the writing could be on the wall and they could have wrote it between the lines. You dig? See what I did there? All right. Mailbagging it up. What other mailbag questions do we have? Get him in. What you got? So you think that bringing in an LB that pretty much does the same as him was just for show? No, but the thing about this team is they're very big on continuity. They're very big on their guys. You know, Dan Campbell said that they were talking. You know, they're still talking. He was very positive about it. Again, the lack of negativity from Alex Anzalone's side is rare to see. I just don't think that he is. I don't think he's gone. I don't think you're just gonna plug and play Zach Cunningham and be like, oh well, we didn't need Anzalone. I think what Alex Anzalone offers to this team permeates and transcends just what he offers on the field. I think what he offers in the locker room, what he offers off the field is also invaluable. So I don't think that they're going to be just that quick to just go, you don't want to sign or you want a contract, you want to, you want an extension, you want a new contract, that's fine. You can go get it somewhere else. I don't think they're going to be like that. So Mr. Morale 313 says, whatever came with the Matthew Judon situation, nothing came of it. I believe he worked out for the team yesterday, and I know they had dialogue about signing him. So dialogue is dialogue. Earlier today, I said I would submit that this is a chess move by one Brad Holmes, because then it gets Big Z's agent to kind of play ball, come to the table and be like, okay, what are they asking for? What can we get? So I think that's what the Lions want. I don't know that they want Big Z, or I don't know that they want Matthew Judon over Big Z, but they may have to be willing to show that they will sign someone else, and they're not just going to sit around waiting for you. So if you want to be here in Detroit, you need to sign that contract we gave you. Right? Or maybe they add $1 million to it, or, a couple million, whatever the case may be. Just sign it for the year. You don't have to get to camp. I know you're a vet, so maybe sign for a year and just cool out, until it's time to start the regular season. Football wise, at least, even though he's kind of old. Are we talking about Judon, or are we talking about Big Z? Well, I do believe that he deserves to get more money than Barnes. Yes, he does. That you will not get an argument there with me. Again, I really think that Brad is trying to prove that we don't need another end and won't sign Big Z. So this is the thing that I don't believe with the Matthew Judon situation, to have the man in working out, to have dialogue about signing him. I don't believe that any of that is in line with not needing an edge rusher. I think all of that is in line with needing an edge rusher, and that's why you did it. See what I'm saying? So, but I do believe that Brad Holmes wants Big Z's agent to come to the table and kind of lower his demands or whatever in order for Big Z to get signed. But I don't think you bring in Matthew Judon just for poops and giggles going, we don't need an edge rusher. We just wanted to kick the tires on somebody and waste time. All right. Any more mailbag questions? All right. So as I said, an update on when are you gonna learn the words? Not doing it. I'm not. I'm not learning the words. Update on the video editing app. I have moved into larger videos. Manual transcript option, and uploading directly to YouTube, which is what I'm going to be testing in a few minutes here after I finish up the pod, because I was just getting ready to add all that stuff to it. So the choices are: Brad is trying to prove something, or he was gaslighting us earlier this year. Which is it? Gaslighting. I'm gonna go with gaslighting. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible for an NFL GM to put all of his eggs in the basket of a chronically injured player, a player that just doesn't stay healthy. It's irresponsible to do that. Okay? And the reason it's irresponsible is exactly what Aiden Hutchinson said today. In his media availability, when they were asking him about Marcus Davenport, he said that he is willing it, that he and Marcus Davenport have to be together this year. There's no other way. There's no other path. Because he's right. There is no other way and there is no other path. If Marcus Davenport goes down, who on your roster is going to come in and give you anything close to what he can give you? It's not there. So that's why I said it's irresponsible for a GM to just let this happen. What up, though, Brent DeWitt? What you think of the Bears having the number 4 ranked offensive line? I mean, it's on paper, so you would think it was pretty good with all the signings and the other stuff that they did. That's what you would think. Is that you good or a good or a good? A good? No. No. I don't want to hear the name Mitchell Agood. Mitchell Agood is not going to do anything but be on the practice squad and be a preseason warrior. Mitchell Agood he could be the Tom Kennedy of the pass rush. That would be Mitchell Agood, the Tom Kennedy of the pass rush. Well, I was told that we don't watch film and that we all think that an edge rusher runs a hoop like Madden. He's gaslighting us. That's all. He's gaslighting us. It's okay. You want to gaslight me? It's good content. It's good for us to talk about. And then at the end of the day, you turn around and you sign Big Z. Everything is forgiven. We forgot about the gaslighting. And we don't care. But if you don't sign him, and you sign Clowney's ugly behind, okay? Why did I say that? Anyway, if you don't sign anybody, it's irresponsible. If you sign someone, it's gaslighting, and that's fine. Okay, if you're gonna gaslight and then you sign, I'm cool. I'm okay. It's just, if you do that, then it's just GM speak at its finest. And that's fine with me. I'd rather be gaslighting than be left at the altar all ready to go, all ready to, say I do. And help doesn't show up. The bride doesn't show up. Pause. Right? Oh, she's just running late. Nah, she's not showing up at all. Not showing up at all. Who's gonna perform this ceremony? He got injured on the way here. He won't be able to make it for the next 13 weeks. Who can you get? At that point, it might be too late. It might be too late. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on off of this thing. If I get my joint working, there will be videos coming out hot and heavy and fast and furious over the weekend. So y'all enjoy your weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I appreciate you all for coming through, hanging out, stopping by for conversation and a drink. I did have a drink today. All right. Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Okay, hold on. Let me. So Tactical says, and I know you watched Davenport interview. He not even confident in himself. So I addressed that earlier. What I said about that interview was I wasn't too upset about it. Number one, he's weird at the podium. I don't think that the media training, I think he skipped that day. And number two, this season is going to be an I told you so season. It's either going to be an I told you so season for Marcus Davenport because he'll be able to play all of the games and be healthy for all of the season and the postseason, or it's going to be an I told you so season for you, for me, for other Lions creators, for local media, for national media, even possibly. I told you that he couldn't stay healthy. I told you so. So it's going to be that type of season either way. I hope it's the first type of I told you so directly from Marcus Davenport. Look at this. Been healthy all 17 games. Been healthy all 3 or 4 playoff games. Whatever. Right? That's the type of I told you so season I want it to be. Brent DeWitt says, if I pushed all in at a table in Vegas betting on Davenport, I'd be feeling Shizer in my pants. That would be very irresponsible, Brent DeWitt. Very, very irresponsible. Golfing for money tomorrow. Well, I hope you bring your A game and not your B game. All right, y'all. Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We are out. Peace.